well been living on.
Storm coming, Mr. Wayne.
I'm necessary evil.
Stay here. I'm in charge.
Do you feel in charge? Bane. Let's not stand on ceremony here. There's a reason why this prison is the worst hell on earth. Hope. Mr. Wayne.
Morning, noon or night, I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to be doing a deep dive into Bane's character. Specifically Bane, played by Christopher Hardy from Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises. We're looking at how Bane is characterised to be one of the most imposing villains in cinema history, and how he's genuinely intimidating to the audience. I'm going to deep dive into his voice, the challenge he poses in respect to Batman, and a little bit of scene analysis as well. Bane first appears at the very start of the film in a daring plane hijacking sequence to kidnap nuclear physicist Dr. Pavel. He is part of 3 terrorists that are handed over to the military, all of which are revered to work as mercenaries for this mysterious character called Bane.
The Mask of the Moon. Bane. Get him on board, I'll call it in.
His ominous names continue throughout this sequence until, during interrogation, a voice, calm, controlled, yet jarring in its pitch, stated,
Or perhaps he's wondering why someone would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane.
At least you can talk! Who are you?
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan.
Bane's voice, a choice by Christopher Nolan, is part of his intimidation. The considerate, methodical tone contrasts massively with his powerful, strong, muscular appearance of the man. For the audience, it is harsh and uncomfortable to listen to, yet also intriguing at the same time. Although his appearance implies abrupt anger and violence, combined with Bane's voice, he seems to have control over the immense strength he possesses. A culmination of all this means even though he is captured, it feels he is in command and control, not the officer. Tom Hardy acts Bane's voice perfectly in The Dark Knight Rises, and as a result, it makes his character evoke intimidation no matter what situation Bane is in. Numerous villains are created to be an equal force to the heroes, a challenge that is very hard but just able to overcome within that film or series of films. The Joker is one of the perfect antagonists, because he may not match Batman in strength and speed, but he does outmatch him in meticulous planning. Even Darth Vader can be a great example of challenge. Luke takes 3 films to learn how to overcome the obstacle Darth Vader presents, and ultimately turns him back to the light side, completing Luke and Anakin's character arc. Leading to my point, I believe Bane from The Dark Knight Rises absolutely excels at opposing our protagonist, Batman. He is more than a worthy opponent. In actual fact, Batman is nowhere near defeating Bane until he escapes the pit. This is 1 hour and 55 minutes into the film. Considering the overall runtime is 2 hours and 44 minutes, Batman is categorically losing for 70% of the film. Therefore, a defeat challenge is rife up until its climax. Now, you may be asking how this creates an atmosphere of intimidation around Bane, how this actively scares the audience. Due to Bane embodying such an unstoppable force, we see him defeat Batman in all circumstances up until the climax. Therefore, anytime we see a confrontation with Bane, the audience is completely intimidated, so we've never seen him lose before, and as a result of the extraordinary choreography, there's no hints that Bane will be losing now. Moreover, we gain a real terror for Bane during Batman's fight with him in the sewers. Batman's obnoxious arrogance is highly noticeable to the audience, but we don't truly understand how much Batman has underestimated Bane until he is betrayed by Selina and left to fight him alone.
Just a little further.
Bane warns of this idea by stating Selina's mistake.
Not as serious as yours, I fear.
Bane, in his unusual eerie tone, speaks this line with such regret and sorrow suggesting he really does believe this is the end of the road for Batman. Yet, this does foreshadow the audience that he may be correct. From here, Bane allows Batman to throw 3 punches to his chest and face, but he remains completely at ease. Now we are beginning to understand.
This has cost you your strength. Victory has defeated you.
This line arguably the most important of the film. It displays how complacent Batman has become due to the lack of challenge from the current villains of Gotham. Batman has not and does not work hard enough because of his arrogance, moulded by victory after victory, has whittled him down to a useless competitor against Bane. For us, as the audience, this is really unnerving, as the villain in this film has shed a light on the dramatic imperfections of our hero, something that we could not, or Batman could not before. It gives Bane heightened power metaphorically, as he understands Batman more than he does himself. The choreography of this fight is very impressive, but in this essay I'm more interested in the characters and what they say. Although, while Batman lays on the floor, Bane is raised on a bridge above the sewer. Using forced perspective and mise-en-scene, Christopher Nolan makes Bane appear much larger, imposing, controlled and intimidating. This massively contrasts to Batman, who is still in a heap on the floor. If the audience was not intimidated by Bane before, they surely are now. After being hauled back and forth, Batman decides the only option is to use the darkness as his ally. Despite this, Batman is not safe, as Bane states,
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it.
Not only is this a reference to Bane's past in the pit, but also another hint at Batman's growing complacency. Batman, although an orphan, comes from a place of great privilege compared to Bane. He does not understand the dark like he does, and cannot use it to his advantage like all the villains previously.
I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding. The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
Batman's defeat is embarrassing to say the least, considering Bane has not had any difficulty at all or injury. Due to Tom Hardy's excellent performance, we can even summarise Bane enjoyed the fight with Batman. As an audience, this sequence really cements Bane's power. Linking back to my previous point, whenever we see Bane in a confrontation, we are intimidated and scared, because we know what he can do to the opposition.
Your precious armory, gratefully accepted. We will need it.
In conclusion, Bane, in my opinion, is characterised as one of the most intimidating villains of all time. He thinks methodically, fights powerfully, and gives one of the biggest challenges to the protagonist in cinema history. As said by Sir Christopher Nolan in an interview, Bane was chosen to be the main antagonist to test Batman mentally as well as physically, and I think he's pulled that off completely. Down to his voice, to his placement in the scenes, I'm truly frightened any time I watch this film.